Raptor demo, ready for takeoff. Unrestricted climb to 15,000 feet approved. You're clear for takeoff.
For nearly 2 decades, the F-22 Raptor has symbolized the pinnacle of air superiority, a marvel of stealth, speed, and precision. Yet in an era where China is considered not a future threat, but a threat today, the U.S. Air Force stands at a crossroads. The answer? A new vision called Next Generation Air Dominance, or NGAD, which aims to rewrite the rules of modern aerial combat. But NGAD is more than just a single fighter. It's a family of systems, and perhaps the most intriguing member of that family is the collaborative combat aircraft, semi-autonomous, uncrewed, loyal wingmen designed to fly side by side with our most advanced jets. Welcome to this in-depth exploration of the NGAD fighter, the collaborative combat aircraft CCA, and the monumental decisions facing the U.S. Air Force. We'll journey from the F-22's battle-tested legacy to the new frontiers of next-gen propulsion and uncrewed innovation. Strap in. This is the story of America's push to maintain air dominance in a world of growing threats. One, a changing threat landscape. The F-22 Raptor first took flight in 2005, revolutionizing modern aerial combat with its stealth profile, super cruise capabilities, and advanced avionics. Designed to detect and defeat adversaries before they even knew it was there, the F-22 is still a fearsome machine. Yet times have changed. China's long-range air defense networks, electronic warfare systems, and missile technologies have advanced rapidly. On September 16, 2024, Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall revealed his perspective. China is a threat today. In a potential conflict over the Pacific, vast distances separate the island territories that might become flashpoints. The F-22, with its roughly 460 nautical mile combat radius, relies on tankers like the KC-46 or the KC-135 for refueling, aircraft that themselves could become prime targets for enemy attacks. Today's Air Force must confront tomorrow's fights, prompting the question, what comes after the F-22? 2. Enter NGAD, the Next Generation Air Dominance family. The Air Force's answer is NGAD, not just a single aircraft, but a constellation of complementary platforms that function together in highly contested environments. Air dominance, after all, is more than dogfights. It's about integrated operations against robust defenses. Originally envisioned as a penetrating counter-air capability, NGAD traces its conceptual roots back to a series of studies. 2014 Defense Science Board study, sponsored by then Undersecretary of Defense for Acquisition, Technology, and Logistics, Frank Kendall. This study concluded that outright air dominance across an entire battle area is increasingly difficult, maybe even unaffordable, against advanced defenses. 2016 Air Force Air Superiority, 2030 Flight Plan called for a family of integrated standoff and stand-in assets to maximize survivability, lethality, and range. 2017 Analysis of Alternatives launched to pinpoint the specific capabilities needed to replace or complement existing fighters like the F-22.
We now come in with a robot that will do it repeatable, which means we're spraying at the same thickness every time. Using our robot technology, we're able to go from approximately 1,600 hours of labor to paint these inlets to around 300 hours. So it really solves our problem in getting these aircraft back into service quicker.
Building on these foundations, the Air Force established a Program Executive Office for Advanced Aircraft, embracing new tools like digital engineering, modular open systems architecture, and agile software development. The vision was bold: develop smaller batches of aircraft that are easier to upgrade, accelerate the pace of innovation, and maintain a technological edge over potential adversaries. By 2020, the Air Force had reportedly flown a first NGAD demonstrator, a tangible sign that the future of air combat was taking shape. By 2023, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and Northrop Grumman were all rumored to have their own NGAD prototypes in the mix. Then in early 2024, the Air Force planned to launch a full-blown competition to pick its next air dominance platform. 3. The Collaborative Combat Aircraft, CCA, a game changer. Perhaps the most revolutionary aspect of NGAD lies in the Collaborative Combat Aircraft, CCA program. While the NGAD fighter itself is often in the spotlight, the CCA adds a new dimension. Semi-autonomous, uncrewed aircraft designed to accompany the manned platform into contested skies. Sometimes called loyal wingmen, these aircraft could carry sensors, additional weapons, or electronic warfare pods to augment the manned jet's capabilities, without risking a pilot's life. 3.1 CCA capabilities. Semi-autonomous flight. CCA platforms use advanced AI to navigate, form up on their manned leader, and even execute coordinated tactics with minimal direct input. Modular payloads. With open architecture designs, CCAs can be rapidly reconfigured for different mission sets: intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, ISR, electronic attack, or direct offensive strikes. Cost-effective force multiplication. While sophisticated, these drones aim to be less expensive than a fully crewed 5th or 6th generation fighter, allowing the Air Force to field them in numbers that tilt the balance of power. 3.2 Integrating CCA with NGAD coordinated tactics. A single human pilot could direct multiple drones, each equipped for different roles. If a target is heavily defended, a CCA might undertake more dangerous tasks, preserving human life. Extended missions. Uncrewed aircraft could shuttle fuel or munitions to their manned counterpart, pushing mission endurance far beyond the normal limits imposed by pilot fatigue. Swarming maneuvers. In high-threat environments, multiple CCAs might confuse enemy sensors, saturate defenses, or open corridors for the main fighter to operate safely. The bottom line? CCAs could be the true force multiplier for the NGAD ecosystem, each drone expanding the operational envelope of the manned aircraft and reducing the risks faced by U.S. pilots. The price of progress. Developing a cutting-edge fighter doesn't come cheap. Between fiscal year 2022 and fiscal year 2024, Congress appropriated $5.1 billion for NGAD technologies alone. For fiscal year 2025, the Biden administration requested $2.75 billion for an NGAD platform, $557 million for the Collaborative Combat Aircraft program. Early estimates suggested an NGAD airframe could run as high as $300 million per unit. Recently, however, Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall indicated a desire to bring that cost down, closer to the F-35's price tag of around $100 million per aircraft. But just how feasible is that? By the summer of 2024, officials began voicing concerns. Could the Air Force really afford NGAD and other big-ticket items like the B-21 Raider bomber and the LGM-35 Sentinel IWR-CBM replacement all at once? The answer, at least for now, led to a pause in awarding the NGAD contract to reassess requirements and overall strategy. 5. Rethinking requirements, disaggregation, and cost. One option under review is disaggregation, taking major subsystems, such as radars or weapons, and moving them onto CCA platforms. This approach could shift some complex and costly technology off the manned fighter, lowering the per-unit price. According to the Air Force Vice Chief of Staff, the question is no longer just, how do we build a 6th-gen manned fighter? But rather, how do we maintain air superiority in a contested environment? Such a pivot could yield a more modular approach. Instead of packing every advanced sensor and weapon into one expensive stealth fighter, the NGAD core aircraft would handle certain high-end tasks, while specialized CCAs carry additional or specialized capabilities. The legislative battle, funding and oversight Congress holds significant sway over the shape of NGAD and the CCA program. In the House passed Service Member Quality of Life Improvement in National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2025, H.R. 8070, the House Armed Services Committee recommended cutting $300 million from the NGAD request. The Senate Armed Services Committee fully funded the request, signaling a difference of opinion. The House Appropriations Committee proposed a modest $3 million cut, but the Senate Appropriations Committee, in S Report 118-204, took a bolder stance, cutting $557.1 million from NGAD and redirecting it to the CCA. Senators questioned the affordability of NGAD and demanded clearer budget lines, especially separating CCA from NGAD, so that costs and performance can be tracked more transparently. Moreover, engine technology is a critical piece of the puzzle. Under the Next Generation Adaptive Propulsion (NGAP) effort, both General Electric and Pratt & Whitney are developing new engine prototypes, XA102 and XA103, respectively. The Senate Appropriations Committee not only wants to preserve two viable competitors, but also added $280 million above the request to reduce risk and promote innovation. 7. The road ahead. As the Air Force hits pause on awarding the NGAD contract, many questions remain. Affordability versus capability. How can the Air Force build a sixth-generation fighter at a price comparable to the F-35? Which technologies, if any, might need to shift to the collaborative combat aircraft? Program timeline. With the B-21 Raider bomber, the new Sentinel ICBM, and numerous other modernization programs, can the Air Force keep NGAD on track without compromising elsewhere? Strategic vision. Do we return to a digital Century Series concept, building multiple smaller batch jets more frequently? Or do we pursue a single robust platform intended to dominate high-end threats for decades? 8. Conclusion. A new era of air superiority. Air dominance isn't just about building the next shiny fighter jet. It's about ensuring the United States can operate freely despite evolving threats. The Next Generation Air Dominance Program recognizes this with a family of platforms, crewed and uncrewed, that share data, extend range, and combine their strengths. At the heart of this revolution is the collaborative combat aircraft, a crucial loyal wingman that could carry extra sensors, weapons, or electronic warfare capabilities. By harnessing advanced AI and modular designs, CCAs promise a scalable force multiplier for the Air Force's future missions. Yet the path forward is uncertain. Tight budgets, competing modernization priorities, and questions about design philosophy make NGAD's future anything but guaranteed. Congress will deliberate the trade-offs, ensuring America's airborne arsenal remains both lethal and fiscally realistic. The result might be a sixth-generation fighter that's more agile, networked, and affordable than many once thought possible. As the Air Force redefines its requirements, one theme stands out: adapt or risk falling behind. Whether the final NGAD design is a single high-end stealth fighter flanked by cutting-edge CCAs or a series of smaller, rapidly upgradable aircraft, the goal remains the same: maintaining air superiority in the face of unprecedented challenges. The stakes have never been higher, and the decisions made today will shape American air power for decades to come. Remember to like and subscribe for more deep dives into cutting-edge military technology on Combat Tech, and thanks for watching.